how every New Year's Eve, everyone on the planet has the same goal? Gain money, lose weight. You know where this is going, right? How by the end of May, almost all of us would have gained weight and lost money instead. This is a small-scale example of what happened to my family's New Year's resolutions for the year of 2019. You see, we had big expectations for the year. My sister Rana's legal documents would be finalized, and she would be able to travel to Canada with her daughter to join her husband there. I would get married and promoted by the end of summer, and Muhammad Noor, my handsome 24-year-old brother who had just graduated from LAU with a business degree, would get a job that would be the platform for his high ambitions in life. Reality. Rana's documents did not work and she's stuck here for another year. I will not get promoted and the wedding got postponed. But the harshest reality of them all was not realizing that ever since 2019 started, there was a silent countdown. That Muhammad Noor would wish my family good night on January 16, and that we would wake up the next day, the morning of January 17, to his tragic loss. Dying on your bed, in your sleep, in your room, close to your family, sounds like an easy way to die. No car crash, no lifelong illness, nothing. Just closing your eyes and flying away. It sounds very peaceful. Yet to this date, I have memories of that day that haunt me. I still remember Mom's loud cry upon walking to Muhammad Noor's room and getting no response from him. How my father attempted CPR. How I ran to the streets to ask people to help me wake up my brother, my younger brother. And how the news of his death in his sleep hit us like thunder. The next few hours, my broken-hearted father, my uncle, and Muhammad Noor's loving friends washed his lifeless body. And for the last time, Muhammad Noor exited his room, his house, the streets, to be buried elsewhere. I will never get that image out of my head. How much can the human mind and heart endure? What keeps us alive after such a tragic loss? I was so sure that this sadness would forever be within me. But let me assure you, joy still shyly visits from time to time, like the rest of you. When you're faced with such a trauma, you have two decisions. You either give up or you stand up. If you give up, which is most likely to happen in the first few days and few weeks, you will give up on everything: food, drink, career, ambitions, life. And you will be mad at how could you not see this coming. And you'll blame yourself for everything, even for being alive. So you punish yourself by giving up more on life. But that feeling is ugly. And ugly does not suit my handsome Muhammad Noor. So here I am, 5 months later, to talk about the journey of grief, in hope that my experience and Muhammad Noor's beautiful life may be helpful to someone. If you are in the process of grief, you will probably feel afloat during it, not only because you're facing new and challenging emotions, but also because there is no rule book of how to feel or what to act. You will be bombarded by an avalanche of emotions that you have absolutely no control of. Allow them. Allow yourself to grieve. Don't rush the process. Avoid distracting yourself to numb the pain. Surround yourself with people whom you love, and more importantly, people who love you, because they will be more patient with your grieving process. Prioritize eating and sleeping. It may sound very trivial, but grief can be so consuming that you forget about these basic needs. So gain control over them bit by bit. Go out, walk, exercise, have some endorphins released within you. It's very therapeutic at such times. But the most effective way that I have found to help me with grief and in life in general is to practice the pause. The universe is not in a hurry. Everything happens in its due time, not a second faster, nor a second slower. But in this technical world that we live in, we are always made to believe that we should strive for growth, strive to be better. Millions wish to be in your shoes, so prove your worth. So we end up running from one objective to the next, day after day. And to add to the complexity of the matter, social media puts us in a competition that we might not even want to be a part of. We find ourselves competing against fancy restaurant visits, vacation destinations, power couple, prestigious jobs. Even if we do not care, even if we do not want to, we are a part of that competition, because that's how the world is running today. Yet, we tend to accept this because we correlate it with growth. Unfortunately, even when it comes to grief, you are still a part of that competition. You are still expected not to pause. Despite your humongous pain, you are expected to move on fast. Your coworkers, they don't want the sad, unproductive you. Your friends, they don't want to hang out with the depressed you. Even your own family won't tolerate the potato couch you. So when you find yourself alone with all this darkness that suddenly engulfed you, hanging in this materialistic world that you were once so consumed by, and that would not pause even the slightest bit to ease your pain or soothe your scars, this is when you press pause. Why am I still being pushed to the fast lane? Can't you see that I need a break? I need to feel this pain. I cannot bypass it. Pause again. Why was I ever in such a hurry? To save some money? To own a house? But what about my loved ones? The real ones? The tangible ones? Where were they in the equation? Pause again. I'm not claiming that you should lose sense of yourself and just be there for your family and loved ones. And I'm also not claiming that if you work or spend some time for yourself, then you are a selfish being. That is not it. I would like you to realize what truly matters before life teaches you it the hard way. Sometimes with deep trauma comes clarity. Time slows down, dates become irrelevant, your own role vanishes. You become immersed in a foggy unknown. These losses, they humble us. They bring us back to the reality of everything. Who are we? Why are we here? What are we racing toward? This temporarily stay in this vehicle of a body, it is what it is. Slow down, pause, reflect. Expand yourself instead of isolating it. Feel the passing moment, live it. There is divinity in the simple moments. Muhammad Noor once wrote under one of his photos on Instagram, "Empty your cup so that it may be filled. Become devoid to gain totality." His physical absence is the essence of his complete presence in our lives nowadays. Everything that we are and everything that we do has changed for him. And we want people to remember him because he is worth remembering. Everyone is. So value your loved ones. Don't be afraid to show them how much you love them and how much you appreciate them. Give and give more. Spend some time with them and create beautiful memories, because if they're gone, that's all you've got. And the more memories you have, the more reasons you smile you have, and the more these people stay within you. If there are 3 things that I would like you to take from this talk, they are these. Practice the pause. Realize that grief is not a process with an end date. Your goal is not to go back to normal, but to regain a new normal. And that it is not time that heals your wounds. It is you who heals your own wounds with time. That being said, there will always be times whereby I wish Muhammad Noor is here to tell him all about the new movies, the new series, how I didn't have the heart to watch Game of Thrones or Avengers Endgame without him, the restaurant that opened nearby, how our younger brother Omar excelled, got جيد in brevet, and he wasn't even here. So I pause, I reflect. Muhammad Noor, I have outlived you, but you're alive within us. Thank you.